Yo, so break week is finally over, so we actually have something of actual substance to talk about today. So, you gotta love that. So 11:14 dropped on Thursday, and I'm not gonna lie, I've known about what was gonna happen in this chapter for like about a week and a half now, not to flex or anything. If you don't believe me, go look at my second channel where I do spoilers and shit, shameless plug there. So I've had quite a bit of time to think about what I wanted to talk about in the chapter. But as I predicted, this is a banger chapter. We didn't get to like the full message yet. Obviously, I think there's like one more huge bomb to drop off, but we've heard at least half of it, like probably like 55, maybe 60% of what this whole message is going to be. But anyway, as usual, let's go through all of the events of the chapter, and I'll spew out all of my bullshit as it pops up. So the title of this chapter is Icarus Wings. Wings of Icarus, whatever it's called. In the shitty spoilers that I initially got, I assumed that this was what happened in the Void Century, like the Wings of Icarus story, whatever it is. But this is a pretty direct reference to Vegapunk flying too close to the sun, doing too much research. He's too smart for his own good, and now he's paying the price for it. But we'll get more into that when we get to it. He states what it is pretty directly later. So off rip, we get a pretty nutty ass Akainu panel, and boy oh boy, that eye surgery that Oda got, it's doing wonders. I remember there was a really shitty Akainu panel a while ago, and it was like 240p like version of what we have right now, and there's a ton of pretty like crazy art in this chapter later, and plus like the Vegapunk panel last chapter. So you gotta love the eye surgery coming into full effect. One Piece is back when it comes to the art. There was a period for like a few years where the art was kind of like down in the mud for a bit, like the first half of Egghead probably, and like a big chunk of Wano, but it's back. But after that, we get some beloved reactions, more beloved reactions. We get a shit ton of them this chapter and last chapter, and before that, we get, it's just straight reactions. It's looking like fucking YouTube, goddamn. One of them being Doffy, which is a reaction that actually matters because he knows fucking everything, and he's just here for the chaos. Like, you can't hate Doffy, even though he is a fucking supervillain, is kind of a piece of shit. You gotta love that he's a fucking psychopath. The Gorosei are obviously, all pissy that there's nothing they can do to stop the message from getting out. So they're all freaking out in their little Discord call together, like their telekinesis bullshit. Vegapunk reveals that a massive earthquake will happen a few days after he records this message, which I'm pretty sure he's referring to the whole Lelouchia shit, but then again, probably not. Like, I think I'm blanking out on what this is because Smoothie states that this earthquake happened fucking today. So it has to have happened like in the past 25 chapters or so. So maybe I'm just really fucking stupid right now. Then Aokiji hits us with the dragon signature ellipses, which of course, you can't know what the cool guys are thinking in One Piece. It's just how it fucking works. We then get a glimpse into the Mother Flame, which is insane art I was talking about earlier. It's fucking beautiful. And I've seen a bunch of shit on Twitter comparing what the Mother Flame looks like compared to stuff we saw back in Skypiea, which makes me think that the Mother Flame was a weapon used to mimic Uranus, which would make sense if the world government just can't get Uranus for some reason. I'm sorry, I'm smiling because the fucking Uranus, I'm a 5-year-old. It also add a lot more fuel to the fire of the whole cleanse thing happening in the past as well. Like I mentioned that, I think, in the last chapter video. But with the real Uranus instead of the Mother Flame, like flooding the world and shit. What if Uranus is capable of this, and then since they can't get Uranus, they use Mother Flame to do it instead? This is also where Vegapunk states that he flew too fucking close to the sun, which also plays into the Wings of Icarus shit, like the title of the chapter. Then Luffy somehow fucking jumps back into Gear 5 for some fucking reason. Like, there's absolutely zero reason for him to be trying this hard against a guy he doesn't need to be fighting right now. Not to mention, he can't beat these guys, and it's a 5v1. What is he gonna do against the fucking Gorosei? But hey, maybe this is a sign that Luffy is building up that Gear 5 stamina a little bit. Might be a stretch, but it could be a sign of things to come. Then, the next page, we get something that kind of caught my eye more than anything else in the eventful-ass chapter that 11:14 was. And it is, I believe, St. Carlos' sister. She has the best character in One Piece's blood running through her veins, so you already know she's fucking important. Plus, she's a celestial dragon. Like, everybody loves celestial dragons. And she says that she doesn't know what the fuck the Void Century is. So, the average celestial dragon really doesn't know shit. They probably don't even know what the D's are. Well, actually, that's probably not true because Doffy and his family know about him, and they were only there for like fucking like 5 years. But still, they probably don't know anything further than like the D's are bad. Like we don't fuck with the D's type shit. But this got me thinking. What if this message turns some celestial dragons to the good side, or at least to the side of not pretty much destroying the fucking world? Like, even if it's for like a super shitty reason, like not wanting to kill all the peasants in the world because there's nobody to flex on, they still, want the good result. They don't want to destroy the world. I think I've made this analogy before, like a fucking year ago, but it's kind of like a shitty YouTuber milking a homeless man for views over and over, like fucking milking. I mean milking. The YouTube guy probably doesn't have like the best intentions, obviously, but he's still giving money to somebody who needs it in the end. So the good is still done. But at the end of the chapter, we get a pretty big bomb that Joy Boy was the first pirate ever, and he's from Elbaf. Definitely not the most surprising thing ever. More so confirmed a bunch of theories, but it's nice to hear finally from the man himself. So this builds up Elbaf hype even fucking more. We will probably get some sort of Void Century flashback, or at least dip into it a bit more during the Elbaf arc. But this confirms why the big ass straw hat exists and is in Mary Joie. And it's why all the giants know about Nika. Like, not even like that because they're old and they live super long. It's because he's from there. And it's probably why the Buccaneers know about Nika. I'm more inclined to believe that Joy Boy was a Buccaneer, but the Buccaneers are part giant, so that's got to count for something. The Buccaneers, like, they have a special hatred for the Buccaneers. Lots and lots of juicy shit, all right? A home run prediction for next chapter, all right? I think we might get some kind of reveal about Joy Boy's appearance, whether it's an outline or a silhouette. I have a feeling we'll get something by the end of Egghead, maybe. But yeah, that's about it. I believe there's a break next week, if I remember correctly. So I got to cook up some shitty content for next week for you guys. So that's something to look forward to. Keep your fucking eyes peeled for that. But yeah.